Hi, this is Tom with Rep Hunter. Going back to our Q&A question and answer session. If you have, again, any questions you may have, please feel free to email me at tom@rephunter.net. One question we always get asked, how much do I pay in commission? How much do I pay independent rep in commission? Well, that's going to depend on your line. It's going to depend on multiple factors. So when somebody asks me that, I always have to go back and ask them more questions, because one of the things I want to know, what's your average sales cycle? I mean, sales cycles range from all over the place. If you're trying to get into a big box, if you want to get into Costco, that sales cycle could take a while. If you're doing something with a DOT or government agencies, again, sometimes much longer sales cycle versus if you're talking to a manufacturer you can walk into tomorrow. How long is the sales cycle? Also, what is the reasonable number of sales per month? I mean, how many are you selling now? What is your average salesperson doing now per month? And again, remember, the rep's not going to be able to give exclusive time to you. So figure 30-40% of their day is going to be able to spend on you. What is a reasonable number of sales per month they're going to be able to do that? How much will it cost a rep in time and money to make the sale? Are they traveling across the state? Do they have to get on a plane? Can they do a lot of the work via email and phone? Exactly what are the costs to make these sales? I mean, how much time do they have to spend? Or they have to do an audit of a building that's going to take them 4 or 5 hours of their own time? Well, that's going to become a risk for the rep. There are industry standards. We have most of that information with all the industry standards that are out there. But again, everybody's going to be a little bit different. So it depends on, again, your product, your service, exactly what what you are selling into or using the rep to sell into the decision makers. And then I always work backwards. Ideally, I want a rep agency to be able to make $30,000 to $50,000 per line. So what is it going to take based on those facts? Sales cycle, the average dollar amount per sale, how long does it take? How many, again, the rep's going to be working 30-40% of the time for you. How working backwards, what is it going to take to make that rep $30,000 or $50,000? If they're not making that if they're only making $4,000 or $5,000 off your line, you're probably going to not be real important to them, and that you're not going to be able to get they're not going to spend a lot of time on your line. But if you can get to that $30,000 to $50,000, they're going to be spending a lot of time. That's going to be the first thing they think of when they get out of bed in the morning. So that's ideally where we want to try to find a way to get there. And then, for a good rep and a good rep agency, once you establish your ideal number, which again, we can always help you with, we work with this every day, I would say add 2 or 3% on it. I mean, you want the best reps out there, you want them to spend the most time on your stuff, pay them extra amount. You're not paying health insurance, you're not paying any of that stuff, so give them the extra 2 or 3 points and you'll become top of their list all the time. Again, this is Tom with rephunter.net. My email is tom@rephunter.net, and we are the independent rep experts.